It is simply marvelous when something lost for ages suddenly reappears. In the art world, such moments are truly magical. Recently, a very special painting, Prometheus Unbound by the Danish artist Bloch, was found again after being hidden for over a century. The discovery happened in a quiet storeroom at the National Gallery in Athens, a place full of forgotten treasures. For years, nobody knew where this enormous painting was. It was like a ghost from the past, a famous work that had simply vanished from public view, leaving only old photographs and descriptions behind it. The art world had almost given up hope of ever seeing it again, believing it might have been lost forever during the turbulent times of the last century. The last time anyone officially saw this masterpiece was way back in 1892. After that, its location became a mystery. The painting, which is truly huge and full of powerful emotion, was a gift from a wealthy Danish banker to the Greek nation. It was meant to be a symbol of friendship and shared ideals between Denmark and Greece. But as the years passed, with wars and political changes, the memory of the painting faded. It was carefully stored away for protection, and then, it seems, forgotten. Finding it was a moment of pure joy and astonishment for the curators in Athens. It felt like uncovering a piece of history that had been sleeping, waiting for the right moment to be woken up and shown to the world once more. Imagine the scene, curators sorting through old, dusty canvases, perhaps not expecting to find anything extraordinary. Then, they unroll a giant painting and see the powerful figure of Prometheus, straining against his chains. It must have been an incredible feeling. The rediscovery was not just about finding a lost object. It was about reconnecting with a story and an artist who had been overlooked for too long. The news spread quickly through the art community, creating a buzz of excitement. Suddenly, everyone was talking about Bloch and his dramatic portrayal of the Greek myth. It was a wonderful reminder that history always has secrets to reveal if we just know where to look. The painting's condition was surprisingly good, despite spending so many years in storage. It needed some careful cleaning and restoration, of course, to bring back its original vibrant colors. The experts worked tirelessly to prepare it for the public. This rediscovery was more than just a local event. It was a significant moment for European art history. It brought back a key work from a major 19th century artist and highlighted the deep cultural connections between Northern and Southern Europe. The return of Prometheus Unbound was a celebration, a testament to the enduring power of art to survive against all odds and continue to inspire us, even after decades of silence. So, who was this artist, Carl Heinrich Bloch? He was a brilliant Danish painter from the 19th century, known for his historical and religious paintings. He was born in Copenhagen in 1834 and showed a great talent for art from a young age. Although his parents wanted him to join the Navy, Bloch was determined to become a painter. He studied at the Royal Danish Academy of Fine Arts and soon became one of its most promising students. His work is known for its dramatic flair, its rich colors, and the incredible emotion he captured in his figures. He had a unique ability to make historical scenes feel alive and immediate, as if they were happening right in front of you. Bloch spent many important years of his career in Italy, particularly in Rome. The city, with its ancient ruins and masterpieces of the Renaissance, had a profound impact on him. It was here, surrounded by the echoes of classical antiquity, that he found the inspiration for some of his greatest works. Prometheus Unbound, which he painted in Rome in 1864, is a perfect example of this. He was fascinated by the grand stories of history and mythology. He wanted to create art that was not just beautiful to look at but also told a powerful story and conveyed a deep moral message. This painting was his ambitious attempt to capture the epic scale and tragedy of Greek mythology. The painting was commissioned by a wealthy Danish banker named Georgios Sinas, who had strong ties to Greece. Sinas wanted a work of art that would celebrate the spirit of freedom and resilience, ideals that were very important to the newly independent Greek nation. Bloch chose the subject of Prometheus because it perfectly embodied this theme of heroic defiance against tyranny. He poured all his skill and passion into the project, creating a canvas that was both technically brilliant and emotionally charged. The painting became one of his most famous works, earning him great acclaim and cementing his reputation as a master of historical painting. He was truly a storyteller with a paintbrush. For Bloch, painting Prometheus Unbound was more than just a job. It was a personal artistic statement. He was exploring universal themes of suffering, sacrifice, and the unbreakable human spirit. The raw power of the painting, the muscular body of Prometheus, the dark and stormy sky, the menacing eagle, all come together to create an unforgettable image of struggle and endurance. His time in Rome had taught him how to combine the drama of Baroque art with the noble forms of classical sculpture. The result was a style that was uniquely his own, and Prometheus Unbound remains one of the most powerful expressions of his artistic vision, a true masterpiece born from his love for history and myth. To truly understand the painting, one must know the story of Prometheus. It is one of the most famous tales from Greek mythology, a story about a clever titan who dared to challenge the gods. Prometheus was not like the other titans. He had a great love for humanity. He saw that humans were struggling, living in cold and darkness without fire. So he decided to help them. He secretly climbed Mount Olympus, the home of the gods, and stole fire from the workshop of Hephaestus. He brought it down to earth, hidden in a hollow fennel stalk, and gave it to mankind. This gift was incredible. It gave humans the power to create tools, cook food, and build civilizations. However, Zeus, the king of the gods, was furious. He had forbidden giving fire to mortals because he wanted to keep them weak and dependent on the gods. Prometheus's act of defiance was a direct challenge to his authority. As a terrible punishment, Zeus ordered Prometheus to be taken to the Caucasus Mountains. There, he was chained to a great rock. The punishment was designed to be eternal and excruciating. Zeus wanted to make an example of him, to show everyone what happens when you disobey the king of the gods. Prometheus, a divine being himself, was left to suffer alone, exposed to the harsh elements on the desolate mountainside. The cruelty of the punishment did not end there. Every single day, Zeus sent a giant eagle to fly down to the rock. The eagle would then tear at Prometheus's liver, eating it piece by piece. Because Prometheus was immortal, his liver would grow back completely every night. This meant that his agony was endless. He had to endure the same horrific torture day after day, with no hope of escape. It was a truly gruesome fate, a symbol of absolute power and merciless revenge. Yet through it all, Prometheus remained defiant. He refused to beg for mercy, his spirit unbroken by the endless pain. He became a symbol of noble suffering for a just cause. In the myth, Prometheus's suffering eventually comes to an end. After many years, the hero Heracles, known as Hercules to the Romans, passes by on one of his famous labors. Seeing the Titan's terrible plight, Heracles takes pity on him. He shoots the eagle with his bow and arrow, killing it instantly. Then he breaks the chains that bind Prometheus to the rock, finally setting him free. This act of liberation completes the story. Prometheus is not just a victim. He is a hero who suffers for humanity and is eventually vindicated. His story is a powerful tale about sacrifice, the fight for knowledge, and the ultimate triumph of freedom over tyranny. The story of Prometheus held a special meaning for both Greece and Denmark in the 19th century. For Greece, which had only recently won its independence from the Ottoman Empire, Prometheus was a powerful national symbol. He represented their own long struggle for freedom and their fight against a powerful oppressor. The myth was a reminder of their ancient heritage and the spirit of defiance that was central to their identity. Having this magnificent painting, a gift from a friend of Greece, was a source of great national pride. It connected their modern nation directly to the heroic tales of their classical past, showing the world that the spirit of ancient Greece was still very much alive. For Denmark, the painting was a way to show solidarity with Greece and to celebrate the shared European values of freedom and humanism. Carl Bloch was a national hero in Denmark, and his work was seen as a high point of Danish culture. The painting of Prometheus was a cultural export, a piece of Danish genius that engaged with the grand traditions of European art and thought. It showed that Denmark, a small northern country, was an active participant in the great cultural conversations of the continent. The friendship between the two nations, one in the north and one in the south, was beautifully symbolized by this shared appreciation for art and for a myth that spoke to both of their histories. When Prometheus Unbound was finally put on display again, first in Athens and then in Copenhagen, the public response was absolutely overwhelming. People queued for hours to see this legendary lost masterpiece. It was more than just an art exhibition, it was a cultural event. For Greeks, it was a chance to reconnect with a lost piece of their heritage. For Danes, it was an opportunity to celebrate one of their greatest artists. The exhibitions brought the story of the painting's loss and rediscovery to a whole new generation. The sheer size and dramatic power of the painting captivated everyone who saw it, reminding them of the incredible ability of art to move the human soul. This whole wonderful story shows us why old art and history are still so incredibly important today. These objects are not just relics of the past, they are living connections to the people who came before us. They carry stories, ideas, and emotions across centuries. A painting like Prometheus Unbound teaches us about mythology, about 19th century history, and about the timeless human struggle for freedom. In our fast-paced digital world, taking the time to stand before a work of art like this is more valuable than ever. It reminds us of our shared culture and the enduring power of human creativity. It teaches us that even when things are lost, they can be found again, bringing with them a renewed sense of wonder and a deeper understanding of who we are.